So it's Doctor Who does Ocean's 11 with the best security guard ever and two Keeley Hawes. Anyway, that is the basic synopsis of this week's episode, Time Heist. Without, and I know it's so. Basically, it has no George Clooney. So this week's episode is taking a sort of different route from last week's episode. Listen, I have to say, this episode is really, really good. It has the same director, Douglas McKinnon, and it's written by Stephen Thompson and Stephen Moffat. And coincidentally, they're both Sherlock writers, and Stephen Thompson, he wrote the weakest episode of Series 6, Curse of the Black Spot, and Jones Central TARDIS was a good improvement, but I can't say he's massively improved here since Stephen Moffat helped. But for some reason, Stephen Thompson, who wrote the Riken Backfall for Sherlock, that episode was really good, but he can't apply what he does so well in Sherlock to Doctor Who, which is really, really weird. Anyway, so the plot is basically the Doctor and gang end up in the bank of Carabraxos and they have to rob it. And they're just asked by the architect, who you don't find out until basically till the last 5 minutes of the episode. Anyway, this episode, casting-wise, does really well. The Doctor, played by Peter Capaldi, as always, is brilliant. Jenna Coleman as Clara, she hasn't really had any massive faults. She's good as well. And Miss Delphox, as played by Keeley Hawes, she reminded me so much of Miss Foster, as in the evil henchwoman who does what she's told and then she's mysteriously killed off at the end. But thankfully Keeley Hawes gets another chance to shine as Madame Carabraxos. To be honest, I would have preferred Madame Carabraxos to be the main bad guy and be in the whole episode, because that is when Keeley Hawes really started to show what she was capable of. And I really don't care if Madame Carabraxos or Miss Delphox was just seen. I would have rather preferred to see Madame Carabraxos in the whole episode, because she was really, really good. Anyway, this week's monster, the Teller. Now, the Teller was practical effects, and that was really a good idea, because I couldn't really see this monster working as CGI, and I do love it when the Doctor Who crew step back and go, okay, let's do it with practical effects. And the guy under the costume is Ross Mullen, and he does a really good job of what he has to do, which is walk and turn around. And the idea of the Teller detecting somebody's guilt, I love that. And when the Doctor sort of mentioned that to Clara, when he's detecting some guy's guilt, and it's switching between the Teller actually doing it and the Doctor's reaction, when the Doctor said, "That's not tears, it's soup," I thought to myself, okay, this is going to be dark. And I was right. That shot of the guy's deflated head, that was really dark, and that's the darkest Doctor Who's got since, well, in a while. I haven't seen it that dark since Revenge of the Cybermen, or the Attack of the Cybermen, because in that episode with Colin Baker, the Cybermen basically crushed the guy's hand so it started to bleed. And I never thought Doctor Who would be that dark, and I don't suppose it is that dark, but they've gone down that route again. The supporting cast, Cy, played by Jonathan Bailey. Now, I've only ever seen him in Broadchurch and Leonardo. But here, he really does shine in the screen time he's given. Same with Sabra, played by Pippa Bennett Warner. She was good, and I really felt for her. The fact that she couldn't touch people because she was a mutant human. And the only reason I felt for her because that's the exact story with Rogue. She can't touch people because she's a mutant, and I felt sorry for her. And that's basically what Sabra is. She's Rogue mixed with Mystique. And her character, since I'm a big fan of the X-Men movies, her character just shouted X-Men. But she was a good character, and she wasn't just bland as Journey from Into the Dalek, but the fact that she's basically just Mystique and Rogue from the X-Men films. So, director Douglas McKinnon. He does exactly what he did well in Listen Here. And he's directing next week's episode as well, which I'm really happy about, because he is such a good director. And the fact that Ben Wheatley isn't directing any more episodes, I think we've got a good substitute. And the script, written by Stephen Moffat and Stephen Thompson, yeah, it was good. But as I said, I don't really think I can say that Stephen Thompson's really improved since Stephen Moffat co-wrote it. So I feel like he helped a bit. And the classic bank robber people are put here in a sci-fi twist. The Doctor's the guy in charge, Clara's the second in command. Cy's the techie one, who is literally part computer, and Sabra is the master of disguise who can turn into anybody she touches. But the bit at the end, my highlight of the week, is the last 5 minutes when the Doctor's talking to Madame Carabraxos, and her reaction. Keeley Hawes and Peter Capaldi really know how to sell this, because Keeley Hawes just sells the what the hell's going on here. A man's just walked in and now's blubbering on about anything, and the Doctor, he's basically saying, I hate myself. Because the architect is later revealed, or Doctor gives Madame Carabraxos his phone number with I'm a time traveller written on it. Then it's revealed that, or Teller comes in, the Doctor lets him read his thoughts, then it's revealed that when she's old and dying, Carabraxos calls the Doctor at the start of the episode, then asks him to help free the Teller and Mrs. Teller. I'm just going to call her Mrs. Teller. So then a montage of him picking up Cy and Sabra and getting the memory worms and putting all the cases in the bank. And the editing is good. I mean, though in The Girl Who Waited they sort of did a Star Wars circle wipe, but here they've gone full on. They're doing sort of like the classic thing, they're holding suddenly becomes a transition. And another thing, the bit in the reveal where Cy and Sabra aren't actually dead, it was a bit obvious considering there were only two guards, one had his helmet off and one didn't. And if it would have worked if there were a few more guards and another one had his helmet off, or Sabra wasn't actually in disguise, she just had her helmet on. That might have been a bit more effective, but since she didn't, it was very obvious. And the shot where the Doctor walks around the corner of the vault and the Teller's there, that really sort of shocked me. And even though it was in the trailer, and when they do that, like put a sort of jump scare or a surprise in the trailer, it loses all effect. But there, no, it didn't. I genuinely didn't expect it to happen. And again, Sabra's reward, again, bit X-Men, cure so she fits in. Exactly the alternate ending for X-Men Last Stand. Anyway, The beginning shot really did confuse me because it was just the vortex into a washing machine and I didn't really see the point in that. But anything else, it's good, and the only flaw I really have is, well, Madam Carabraxos. She was amazing. And I feel like Keely Hawes only really showed what she was really capable of in that bit. In the last 5 minutes. So, I give Time Heist a 9 out of 10. See you next time for The Caretaker.